Alright. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Rain World. Actually getting around to doing something that I wanted to do for a while. Not Wingcat specifically, but any modded character. I've kind of been interested in trying a speedrun for one of them. It's not as important as like the main character speedruns. It's a lot more niche. Console players can't be involved at all. But I thought about a lot of the modded characters that I played before, and I think that Wingcat is like one of the better ones to try. I mean, here we are. But they have very good mobility. The speedrun might be very short. it might be done very quickly. But like another main reason is that it's actually it's like a finished campaign. Well, not really a finished campaign, but I guess that's the thing, right? This is pretty much just the same deal as Survivor. Hello, welcome to the stream. So like go to Pebbles, go to the depths. That's it. That's all it is for Wingcat. And I don't think I don't know if they have any like new regions planned, but a lot of other like modded Slugcats have like a bunch of stuff planned. It's like, oh, we're using a temporary campaign, and then like the ending is completely broken because it doesn't align with like whatever downpour Slugcat it's from. But this is just Survivor, so I can actually like finish the game. So I'm just gonna do like I guess just a normal run to start. Yeah. Now I don't know what to do for the first bit of food. Okay, that works. If you get lucky and get a spear immediately, you can just eat this popcorn plant. Wonder if Moon has any unique dialogue? She probably does. I'm not going to Moon. So I kind of realize now, considering how quickly I got food, I probably don't need a split for Karma 4, but whatever. Doesn't make that big of a difference. So, like every speedrun, you have to Karma catch at the start. And that's because this is pretty much the only time, like, we start at pretty low Karma, so we need to Karma catch to get up to level 4. Then we can make it to the rest of the regions we need to. And then after we get to Pebbles, we're gonna have max Karma anyway. At least I think I will. It'd be really funny if I get to Pebbles and he doesn't give me max Karma. Then I have to come up with an entirely new route. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Now, this is probably going to be very fast. It's only a handful of regions I need to get through. And considering how fast this character is, the speedrun might be like 10 minutes. And I have to go through the depths, so like a big chunk of this run will be in the depths probably, because it's just pretty slow in general. But everywhere else should be like extremely fast, so I kind of want to actually try to optimize this a little bit. Like just doing one run alone is gonna be over real quick, even if I like takes a few attempts. Okay, so now we're actually gonna be moving. So basically the first like 2 minutes of the run are pretty uneventful. Now we can actually start getting places. So, of course, the main appeal of this character is their movement. And I'm not the best at their movement, but I think I'm okay. And hopefully this is something else that I can improve at about doing these runs. The main challenge is going to be avoiding running into walls and stuff. They can mess with your play. I mean, obviously. There's also a little bit of control that you have over the speed. So if you're flying upwards, you can hold up to fly faster. You can hold down to fly like horizontally, like this. That's not good. They just ran away. Also, I totally forgot to split for the Karma. Maybe I'll get rid of that. It's only like 2 minutes. And it's just kind of luck. Like, if you get a spear at the beginning, you can get the popcorn plant and then get food immediately. It might be faster to get the egg bug instead, because there is an egg bug like right next to your where you spawn. I guess that'd be faster than popcorn. Oops. I probably want to get rid of wall pounces. I might go and disable that. Yeah, if you run into something, you stop flying. And if you're not expecting it, it can be really bad. Getting through chimney in just like a minute. Even less than a minute. That'll be fun. Going through a lot of lines, screen transitions, so I kind of need to memorize exactly the path I need to fly upwards so I don't run into anything. And I have not done that yet, so that's an area to optimize. Going through tunnels and like enclosed areas like this are gonna be the slowest parts of the run. Also, if I'm flying and holding up when I cross a pole, I will grab onto the pole. So I want to avoid that if possible. So creatures might not seem like a big problem because you can just fly over them, and that's mostly true. But if there's like going through any of these like screen transitions, if there's a lizard camping in front of them, then it's pretty much over. So in situations like this, it's better just to go around the whole thing. And I can't fly fast going up this because I'll... Oh. Apparently that's just kind of awkward in general. Ow. Okay, I need to remember to avoid that. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to control in like tight spaces like that. Whoops. Okay, I really need to get rid of wall pounces. They're just slowing me down more. I guess I'll split there. I kind of put pebbles for when I would meet pebbles, but I guess it also works when I enter the region. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Keep in mind that 2 minutes were spent karma caching and like not even moving forward. This area might be a bit awkward. I don't exactly know how I control in zero gravity. Yeah, once I actually entered the full like zero gravity area, it's like full control, but not in like the partial low gravity. And now, actually, do I have enough karma? Yes, I do. Okay. That would have been, well, I guess it could have been made the run more interesting if I had to like meet echoes instead of just pebbles. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Now, I don't know what the fastest way through Skylands is. I'm just going to take the route that I normally take. But now that we're going to be going down, the flying becomes less useful. I can't just fly straight up the whole time. That was fast. I can still do that, of course. I guess throw boosting is useful for when you're starting flying. Okay. That's an improvement for next run to not wall pounce. As good as wall pouncing is, it doesn't work out with characters like this in Artificer. It's the only way through Sky Islands, I guess. I mean, you don't know. I mean, you can like check the map and tell if it's the right way, but sometimes it's easy to get used to one specific way to do a region and just always do that like every time just because you're used to it. And then eventually you find out that that was actually not even close to the best way, and there's just another path that you could have taken the whole time, but you just never tried it out because you weren't used to it. It's kind of is for me and Shaded. So I'm pretty sure that there's a path that I always took for Shaded that I just kind of got used to. And I think that it's still probably the best path to take in casual playthroughs when you don't have a light. Because there's only a handful of rooms that are really that dark. But in speedruns, of course, you don't really care about that. You just memorize your movement anyway. And so for speedruns, there is an alternate way that's even faster than that. And I'm just not really used to doing it, even though it's technically the best option. So farm race is wonderful because I don't have to care about the deer. Yo. Hello, welcome to the stream. Oops. Okay, that was actually not really a problem at all. Despite the deer and almost touching the worm grass. We're already in... Also, I forgot to split farm raise again. I'm moving so fast, I'm forgetting to split. Started playing the Dear Red song for like 2 seconds, yeah. Okay, so next run, remember to split and remember to turn off wall pounces. Now I actually don't know which is the fastest way to do subterranean. I think it's this way as like Survivor, but I don't know if that's also the case for this character. So you kind of want these like wide open areas that you can fly through. So a longer path that is more open might be better for this character. But this path is still pretty open. This part's a bit awkward. Don't run into that. Dead fish. Oh gosh, I did a normal jump there and it was so slow, it surprised me. Their normal mobility compared to flying around is so much different. This is probably the scariest part of the run. Right here. I can't fly and there can be creatures that just block me from going through these tunnels. It is just normal survivor spawns, but it's still pretty bad infiltration. And I don't have a light. I didn't want to do that. There's a spider down there. They went that way. Ooh, okay, so filtration is probably going to be where the most RNG. I'll actually have to deal with creatures. I'm pulling onto a mushroom, and I don't really want to. Get absolutely tricked. Okay, I think actually an alternative way through this region might be better. So you can go down here. And then from here, I can just fly up. I have wings. Although taking the other path would be faster if there's no moles in the way. Yeah, there's green spiders for Survivor. Which actually makes sense because they're pretty harmless. As long as you don't stab them. And, like, on your first player, you're probably not going to stab that much stuff. You just start playing the same story in 5 levels. Yep. That's... yeah. Okay, the depths should be pretty fast, at least the first layer. Because in this room... yeah, you can just do this. You have to go down here, though. I think green spiders are downpour exclusive. Well, they are. I don't think like the original game was updated, but that didn't really add any new content. It was mostly just like quality of life stuff and like bug fixes. When I get to an area like this and suddenly I just slow down, I can no longer fly. This would probably be the most difficult part of the run. Also, I forgot to split again. That's because you technically could fly through most of these rooms if you like perfectly avoided all the walls, which would be extremely difficult. But it would be faster. You'd also have to memorize the like where everything is, so you don't run into it in the dark. Wall panses don't help. It's bring him some pearls and arty campaign. Why does that go a little too fast? Memorizing these rooms would definitely help a lot. This character. Like, usually it's not that important because you're only looking at a small part of the room at a time as like Survivor. If you're going through it at normal speed, but I'm going so fast that I need to basically be prepared for the whole room at once. That was pretty clean. I want to see if I can if I can do something here. Oops. Okay, totally messed that up. If I fly like all the way up here, you ever seen this screen before? Yeah, I don't really think that's much faster to fly up first. Okay. Only 17 minutes for one run. I'm gonna do like 10 runs today. Oops, I don't care about the options. The main thing I wanted to change is... there we go. Wall pouncing. Disable. Okay, I just need to remember for this run, actually split correctly. So the first one is for when I finish karma caching. So I think eating these should be faster than the popcorn plant. What I can do is I have only eaten 4, but I can bring the last one into here. Did I not use any fast rolls? I don't think I did. I was just more focused on trying to fly as much as possible. So I don't know if it's like ever worth it to try to land and do like a roll when you could just keep flying. Never brought many pearls to Pebbles or Lucid Moon. That's reasonable. I think it's fascinating the kind of people who play Rain Worlds completely blind and think, yeah, I'm gonna go out of my way to find all the pearls in the world just so I can learn the lore without searching it up on my own. Those people are fascinating. Like one time, I decided to do a challenge where you bring all the pearls in the world to one shelter, and I chose a shelter in Industrial, and I did it with the vanilla pearls, so no extra downpour stuff. Although for like Survivor's campaign, I don't know if there's any new pearls. Like there's probably some in Pipe Yard, right? Bad fine. I know that with some remix options now, you can passage and bring pearls with you. They're in your shelter. And that would be incredibly useful because I could passage all of those pearls from Industrial all over to Moon at the same time. But that wasn't always an option. So I guess if you wanted to do it now, it wouldn't be that bad. You'd probably like go to some like set of regions, collect all the pearls into one shelter, then passage and bring like 4 or 5 pearls at the same time to Moon. But if you're bringing it like 1 or 2 pearls at a time, that would take way too long. Oops. So yeah, I was a bit slower this time. Can you hear that? And you come across a new pearl. Yeah, when Downpour came out, I really wanted to, like, every time I come across some new pearl, it's like, oh, I gotta bring this to Moon. I spent a bit of time doing that as Rivulet, just bringing pearls around. Okay, it's like at Red Bull. Oh, right, it's the wings. So remember to split. This is a very short split. Just like going across a few rooms like this. Yep, and that's pretty much it. I'm still behind. Oh wow, gold split. That's crazy. This is a very funny run. Like a task of this would be very impressive. It's like just being able to perfectly fly through everything, one like sweep. I keep like running into stuff. Grab it on the poles. That lizard was in the way, I had to go around. He just fell. Yeah, you can spin in the air. It's a bit awkward though, because you can't really like move forward while doing it. This is a really awkward room. If you like run into a wall, even like just barely, you stop flying. So in those like kind of narrow tunnels, that can happen. That was a lot cleaner than last time. Swift flashing before flying? I guess I have to test that out now, huh? Can't do it in here. I don't have space. It might, because whiplashing gonna like, it kind of applies this force to you in one direction constantly. Shouldn't do it there. I don't know if that made me go faster. I guess I didn't really have much time to build up speed in that room. Getting into that pipe is kind of annoying. Maybe I should have lined myself up with the pole. I think this is not ideal. They're actually very agile in like most 0G areas. It's just those few rooms are very narrow. Or actually, I guess just the one room. But compared to having no mobility at all, it's a big improvement. Oh dear. Don't do that. That's a dead scavenger. So this next split is also inaccurate. Wow, I saved 2 minutes? That's crazy. I guess you can kind of start spinning. It's really awkward. And you don't maintain a backflip state like you can as like Saint. It's a different kind of spinning. Few rooms with just normal movement. Let's go on this run is a lot like Survivors. I mean, the format's kind of the same. Go to Pebbles, then go to the depths, and there's then like you exit out of the game halfway through after seeing Pebbles. But for Survivor, it's centered around outskirts, of course, because that's where they start. And for this character, it's centered around Sky Islands, and both of them kind of have a different like red regions that you go through. So for an outskirts, you go to Industrial, Chimney, and then you enter the wall. It's pretty much the same from there. After Pebbles, you go down to Drainage System, then Filtration. But for this character, you go to Farmers instead. Which is actually nice because this character can just skip the Wormgrass. Oh dear, scout moves. Guy was mad. Okay, remembering a little bit from last attempts, I fly a little bit higher here. That's a centipede. Okay, now there's the only RNG part of the soul run. Well, I guess there's like little bits in here and there. Like technically, a vulture could always get in your way. You're flying around, and a lizard sometimes is camping a pipe. They probably heard that, didn't they? I don't really like this path through Filtration. Because all the lizards immediately know where you are and they just, like, block the tunnels. I might, like, try to intentionally go over here instead. Just from the start. Assume that the lizards are already in the way. I can't tell when the path is open. Oops. Sometimes you actually have to do normal movement instead of just flying around. Okay, remember to split here too. Whoops. I can't undo splits. This is not the right room. I was so focused on trying to remember this split that I forgot which room you're supposed to do it in. This is when you're supposed to split. It would also definitely help to memorize this region a lot better. Here you're supposed to fall down. Ah, there's something on the ceiling there. You never have to learn what's on the ceiling of these rooms. Suddenly it's relevant. Five seconds to get the Guardians. I don't think so. They're pretty strong. Yeah, the like vanilla exploits remix option that is allowed for speedruns. That's how we do karma caching still, because that's been patched out. guess since I can't accidentally wall pounce anymore, I might as well just be like, always hold down the fast roll button and always try to jump. You know, funny thing, 80% is very different right now compared to how it used to be in vanilla rain world. Because you used to be able to do some movements to... You tried to karma catch without that option on. Yeah. But there is a thing you could do to despawn the guardians, and that was how we did 80%. Well, we did. I didn't run that category at all. I did like 1 pebbles% run before downpour. And but now apparently that's been patched out even with vanilla exploits on. So 80% requires you to bring a hazer down, which is like not hard to get because there's one right in drainage where you can go anyway. But then you have to like spend like a minute or longer to like trick the guardians into focusing on the hazer instead of you, so that you can run past. And people, apparently there is still a way to despawn the guardians. It's just inconsistent. So inconsistent that nobody's even tried it in runs. At least I don't think they have. Because the moment you mention it at all, everyone's just like, oh yeah, you can't do it at all. It just doesn't work. Okay, these splits are slightly more accurate, but there's still problems with them. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Sorry about that. I'm gonna restart. I didn't get a spear. I think the only or the best way to start this off is just to so you can't see anything for the first few seconds. Actually, you know what? At this point, I might as well keep going. Yeah, get this 8 bug. I don't know if that's any better. I guess that's why I have this split at the beginning. Anyway, what I was saying about the 80% run, I kind of wonder, like, is there still a way you can despawn the guardians? Because people don't say that it's not possible anymore, that they patched out completely. They just say that it's inconsistent. So inconsistent that they don't even attempt to do it in runs, but surely it'd be worth it, right? If there was a way, even if it was like super jank, to just despawn the guardians, that would be like way faster than doing the hazer skip, because that takes like a minute, 2 minutes. Hazer skip is so slow. And even if it takes you like, well, I guess like it really depends on how many attempts people are willing to put into this, because it's at the end of the run. And if this guardian skip is super inconsistent and it never works, that means a lot of runs are going to be wasted by like at the very end just because it doesn't work. But surely it'd be like worth doing. Oh, so that's the song that plays in the big tree in Outer Expanse, but it also plays in that mod. And you remember those creatures that look like reindeer, but they are mad at you? Okay, that was slower, as expected. What if it'd be better to go through here? Don't have to fly all the way around it. It's still hard to control on those narrow passages. There we go. Slam my head into that. It's a little bit of brain damage. Those hunters specific? What? I don't even know what that is you're referring to. Let's try out the whiplash thing in this next room. Never mind. I guess the room after the next room. I don't really think I'm going any faster than normal. And that will just slow me down by 2 seconds. In the Void Sea? I spent like 2 seconds in the Void Sea. Quick flashing makes you slower. Okay, well it doesn't seem like it's worth doing. See, just like bumping into a wall like that, even when I'm just flying upwards, it still stops you from flying. Can be improved a lot. Yeah, yep. Absolutely you can. It's actually the first death. First death this stream. I didn't expect 3 lizards to show up. Maybe I should do some other speedrun categories. Like I could get to Moon, which would actually take a lot longer. They're quite far away. They were in the shelter. Okay. I was wondering where that egg bug was. Intended percent. Wait, what is intended percent for Wingcat? Is it just like the same as Survivor, or like Pebbles then Moon then Subterranean? No spear. Unfortunately, the very start of the run is a little RNG, just because if you don't get a spear, you can't really do anything. Also, the screen is completely black for a few seconds, so you can't even see where you're going. You can move still. No spears again. Maybe I'll try that. Pebbles, then Moon, then Subterranean. Although I don't know which route I'd take. I guess going through Pebbles would probably be the best. You know what? Problem is that you need another food. You need the both noodles and something else. I think that's slower. I would like to just to get a spear in the very first platform. I guess I'll just stand still, because if I don't want to walk past the spear. I'm gonna assume that they went into the shelter. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I got really lucky for the beginning of the stream, so I did not have any problems with this. Oh, nice one. Okay, this might be the best one so far. The best start. Yeah, I got bad spear RNG. Yeah, pretty much the only RNG in this whole run is the very beginning, like the first 20 seconds, and then like filtration system. And I guess I also died in the wall because of like random lizards, but like that was pretty rare. So the other times I went there was no lizards in the way, or if they were in the way, they were pretty easy to like just get around. Yeah, if anyone has any ideas for like other categories they could try out, I'm open to it. It's just doing pellet percent the whole stream, but it's probably gonna get boring. They're only like 17 minutes. There's not really any categories in Rainbow that are like this run at all. I mean, you spend like 2 minutes karma caching, and that's just movement. Until filtration system, where you hope that the moles aren't a big problem, and that's pretty much it. Okay, it seems like the loading times are just really long for this character for some reason. But those don't really contribute to the... Rivulet? Rivulet is definitely not like this. Just because of the beginning of the run is very creature heavy. So you spend a lot of time, a lot of wasted attempts just dying in the beginning of the run. Although yeah, that is probably the most similar. Okay, we are playing Rivulet, apparently. Yeah, I guess Rivulet really is the best comparison. Most of the other Downpour speedruns are very creature heavy. Gourmand, well, Gourmand doesn't really have that many creatures, but they just aren't very good at dealing with them. So just like one lizard in your path is actually like a big problem. You can't just jump over them, you can't just like rock spear them. I mean, if you do that, then you instantly lose all your stamina, so... Bring a neuron to moon. Hold up. Splits. I totally just messed up all the splits. Yeah, I mean, just bringing a neuron to moon is pretty much the same thing as just going from pebbles to moon. I guess it would be, you would have like a reason to end at moon, you know? Otherwise, you'd pretty much just go from pebbles to moon to sub training after that, right? Sub training in depths. It's never spear this year. the stream. Every time you show up, you say some combination of speedrunning and funny. Oh, a spear right here. That's convenient. I really picked up the egg bug itself instead of the spear. Is that so wrong? No, there's no problem with it. But it's just a pattern I've noticed. So this speedrun is very funny. This is actually a funny speedrun. It's incredibly short. You spend 2 minutes karma caching at the start. Actually, it's pretty much like a minute and a half of karma caching. It takes about 30 seconds to get here. And then you just like zoom through like the next few regions. Until you get to subterranean, then you slow down a little bit. And filtration is especially slow. Like filtration, some parts of subterranean, and some parts of lower depths are like the slowest of the run, but the rest of it is incredibly fast. Yeah, hopefully I can actually like finish a run instead of just dying. Well, I've only died like twice. It seems like there's a lot of people, well, not really a lot of people, but a decent amount of people who watch these streams who say that it's like late for them. Makes sense because of time zones, but I'm streaming pretty much as early as I can, reasonably. I mean, I definitely could stream earlier if I wanted to, but it just kind of messed with my schedule. Yeah, this was a bad start just because of the egg bug weirdness at the start. I kind of wonder if there's a different time I could stream that would be better. Either significantly earlier than this, so maybe like that was fast. Like a couple hours before when I stream normally, or several hours after this stream time, so that it'd be like morning for those time zones. I could do that. I could do streams significantly later, like 8 hours after I start these streams. I could do that. Okay, save all the time. Apparently 14 seconds. Like, what I did basically is I looked at the times that I could stream, where I would have like several hours in a row where I don't really have to do anything. And I looked at several time zones of like major English-speaking countries. I'm sure that people watch these streams who don't live in English-speaking countries and it's like a second language or something. And I just tried to see if those main time zones would line up decently. And I think they do, but you know, for some people they might not want to like stay up too late or wake up too early, you know. But I kind of just decided to stick with this one schedule and never change it at all. Like, this is when I stream, and you know, some other people also do the same. They have one time that they stream and that's it. And sometimes it's like you know, it's a bit varied, you know. I might do that sometimes. So for these rooms, I want to hold up to fly faster. But if I hold up, I will grab onto poles that I pass. So I need to like time the up presses so that I don't grab onto the poles, but still so I can fly as fast as possible. Which is not really difficult at all. It's one thing to pay attention to compared to like, how easy it is just to hold down, jump, and to fly up an entire room. Will there be lizards here? Yes, but not as many. Just run as that guy. Okay, that seems like a good way to do that. So that I don't have any horizontal speed left over. Just so I don't bump into the walls. Oops. Okay. I didn't expect that. Average modding experience. Yeah, good movement. The game crashed. Because I entered that pipe too fast. I don't know what happened. That could have been it actually if I was moving too fast. Maybe I like went into unloaded rooms or something like that. Or something to do with the echo. It was too good. Yeah, I need to remember to slow down next time. First crash day when ascending Speedmaster. Yeah. I mean, usually the game doesn't crash like vanilla, but it's significantly more common with a few mods. I didn't expect it in like the middle of the speedrun. Rainbow Needles mod. Sometimes I see people talking about like some bug they had, like or the game crashed or something happened. They don't know how to fix this. Something. And they're like, yeah, I have like 10 mods enabled. Like, okay, what did you expect? Of course the game is gonna crash with that many mods enabled. I mean, hopefully it doesn't, but it's significantly more likely. Okay, this was pretty fast. Slightly better start. Shots to the depths of Saint and the game crashed. Oh, screen scroll. So there's always some reason. Although, the game crashing at the end of the Rivulet story percent run. When I have no other mods enabled. Except for like input display and fast roll, which like barely do anything. And that crashed before I had the fast roll button mod, so if it was just the input display, maybe. Yippee mod. I downloaded that, tested it out for 1 minute, and now I no longer have it. I actually just recently went through all the mods I had, like subscribed to on the workshop, and got rid of a few, just so that the list wouldn't be too long. But if input display and fast roll causes the Rivulet crash? I mean, I think that if it is it could maybe be the input display for some really weird, obscure reason. But I did a bunch of speedruns before the fast roll button, so it's probably not that. And I think the game still crashed back then. Yippee in the depths. Is like the pitch lowered? Time is slowed down. That was funny, the way that I entered that pipe. Sam, I'm slowly getting better at these rooms. Memorizing them slightly. The best path I need to take. Okay, never mind. Oh, going down again. Imagine a speedrunning getting so optimized that you have to like quickly enter pipes that save anytime. Like all the time save has been found, but if you like, you could still save a little bit of time just by entering every pipe super smoothly. That guy got me. Ooh, then he got caught. Sucks for them. I don't know if doing this horizontal flight is any faster than like the other option. Just like flying up and then down and up and down. Also, wow, this run. Popular enough that's gonna happen. Yeah, like most speedruns, like the difference between first and second place is like a decent amount of time. It's not like those kind of time saves are relevant. Okay, don't do that. One challenge for anyone is like who's like not even interested in just speedrunning, but there's a karma flower there. It's a dropway. That's funny. But anyone who just like likes movement in this game, I recommend doing this little challenge where you try to get from pebbles all the way to the depths in a single cycle. World record pace for this extremely popular category that maybe one other person has ever done. I don't know. It has anyone else speedrun this character? Surely, right? Even if they didn't record it. Okay, I made that mistake again. Okay, will the game crash? See that lag spike right there? That might have been it. Whatever happens. But this little challenge, it's actually how I got into speedrunning. Because it's like, when you're starting out, you're probably not good enough to make it first try. So maybe it rains in, like, outskirts. Maybe it rains in drainage system, and you're like, no way, this is possible. And you slowly improve and make, like, learn the route better, implement some better movement, make less mistakes, and eventually you can make it all the way down to the depths before it rains. It's, like, such a good marker for your progress, you know? Because every time you make it a little bit further, you know that you've improved. Using Lure Village, which is cheating? Yeah, I guess. But you could try, like, seeing how quickly you can do that, you know? Uh-oh. Time loss. So, a mistake that I made last time, I really should grab onto this pole and line myself up first. I was bumping into the walls constantly. Harder with Survivor and Monk. It should be harder with Survivor, right? More creatures. Monk is the same speed as Survivor. They're identical. I've tested it out. The only part that they're really slower at is the underwater sections and drainage, because they have lower lung capacity, but that's pretty much it, I think. All regular movement, like jumping, sliding, ounces and stuff, all that is exactly the same. I also thought that Monk was slower for a long time. Like, surely, like, the weak character is also pretty slow, right? They're the same, though. Hunter is a little bit faster. Yeah, does, Monk have longer cycles? Like, that would make sense, but I don't know if it's true. Okay, so there's improvements to be made here, but I think it's still fast. By a little bit. Not a smooth pipe entrance this time. That's the difference. That's all the like 5 seconds that I saved. See if I can keep the pipes faster. That's a fast 500s. Yeah, that one was mediocre. That one was alright. Some of them have kind of uneven terrain leading up to the pipe, so you kind of like bump into something first. It's a lot easier if it's just on like completely flat ground. Ooh, that was smooth. New meta. Oh, I was facing the wrong direction there. That's unfortunate. That's like the one fast pull claim you can do in this whole run. Oops, don't go down there. Time lost restart. I'm actually doing a speedrun where if you lose like 4 seconds, you have to restart. Like, that's actually a thing in some categories, in some games. If they're optimized to the point where you need to save like 2 seconds to get a world record. Well, actually, of course, if you save 2 seconds, you're gonna get a world record, but if you're only capable of saving 2 seconds, and like no more. It's like, oh, I need to go for this like frame perfect tech just to save 1 second, and then the other second is just like from like minute changes to movement. That was actually slower. All from that like wrong turnaround in the pipe. I don't know if there's any categories like that in Rain World. Maybe like 1.5 any percent was kind of close to that. In any game where you can like say like a platformer like Mario, you know, where there's just one way to move through the level the fastest, and it's by like holding right the whole time. So if you just hold in one direction, and if you don't like slow down ever, then you can beat the game. Okay. You can beat each level like the fastest way possible, right? Oops. Okay, mistake there. Can't imagine speedrunning games like that. Like, honestly, Rain World is difficult, but it's super lenient. You know? So you know that there's very fluid, so there's always a little bit of time to save, and there's always a few mistakes here and there. I'm just gonna play filtration safe. Take the alternate route. There's a pro there. It's the other way that I took to get down. There was always mole lizards that blocked the path there. shoot. Where do I go? It's dark. Okay, I probably should have gone down the other tunnel. No, that's fine. I can go over here. Yeah, I always take fall damage there. Remember to roll or something. I'm not a fan of all the moles up there. I should be able to get through here safely. Yeah, there we go. That should be faster. Because that's the route that I'd ended up taking anyway. Except I would like get distracted by the other side of the room. Technically, there is a fastest way to do each room. I mean, of course, that's always going to be the case. But it'd be like a bunch of frame perfect inputs. Like perfect AI hops constantly. Always jumping out of like slide pounces and extended slides perfectly. Going through pipes perfectly. Like all of that stuff is so unrealistic. It's like we're always going to be like just a few seconds away from perfection. So you like super optimize the category like any percent. Oh, that's a slow pipe entrance. And that's also ignoring all the the actual frame perfect movement tech in Rain World. Like instant pounces, instant whiplash. Maybe like instant whiplash is actually like a useful tech if you can actually execute it. Oh, split again, I forgot. So basically when you do a slide bounce, you do a slide, and then after a short delay, you do the jump, and it makes it a pounce. But if you do the pounce jump, exactly the first frame you do the slide, then you will start the pounce immediately. Same with the whiplash. There's also technically always a little bit of RNG in just the placements of rocks and spears. Which is actually like kind of important in some survivor speedruns. Just that rely more on throw boosts for speed. If there's like if every room is filled with rocks, you can throw boost all the time and you'll go faster. I think the Guardians would stop me. I mean, I could test it out. Oops, don't fly up there. I can still improve the depths. Also, like slight RNG in the depths of if you can see or not, because the lights are random. Should be about a minute faster. I bounced off the water. Oh, come on. Okay, it wasn't exactly a minute faster. That's cool. Okay, what about this particle thing? Something that looks like Hunter. There are none. Huh. How do you karma cache? You sleep in a shelter normally. When you wake up, you starve, so hold down to force a sleep. After you starve, you continue. So you wake up again, but then the moment you wake up, exit out of the game. Enter back into the game, and it'll be before you starve, so you can starve again and repeat. I want to look at the VOD, see what the particles were last time. Oh, I see them. Oh, that's weird. Those kind of look like the particles that you see at the end of Artificer when you ascend, right? Like when you're like disintegrating. Yeah, I want to try Moon. However, I have no idea what route to take. I guess I'd go through like Unfortunate Development, right? That's the fastest way to get through Pebbles. And then from there, Underhang, Lake, Memory Crypts, Shaded, Shoreline, Moon. I guess that's the route. It's pretty much the same as Rivulet, huh? You know, I am just gonna follow the Rivulet route, except I need to memorize Fortunate Development. Okay, I memorized it. I guess I don't need the splits anymore. Like, I'm not gonna create any new ones. Pebbles wall underhang? Maybe. Like, that also could be true. Just because of how fast you can move through the wall. But you also move pretty fast through Pebbles. Because you can fly around. I think just because of that unique, like, 0G movement, I'm willing to try it out. Even if it might not be as fast. And also I need to remember to... I'm gonna be doing... Actually... I don't need to do the same thing here. I don't need to. I can Karma Cache. Well, actually, I guess this might just be the best shelter anyway. Test both fruits. Should I optimize? Speedrunning need to optimize. You know what? Let's do a test run. I'm open to this. I can Karma Cache in the next shelter. Wait, I'm going the wrong way already. I wonder if there's any other modded characters that have interesting speedruns. Because most of their they don't even have like proper campaigns, you know? Like maybe they just like borrow another character's campaign. Which I guess this is kind of what this is, you know, this is just the same as Survivor. That's very rude of you. I think that Drone Master has a campaign, right? It's like kind of similar to Artificer, maybe. But actually, I don't know. I haven't played them since they got updated. But I don't know if I want to play more Drone Master. Maybe a bit of a mistake to play them so much before they got fully updated, and it's like I'm not really interested in actually playing the updated version now. I just remember a lot of modded campaigns being like, here's a new character, we're working on the new regions and custom campaign and whatever, and then of course that's gonna take like months. It's not easy to just create regions. Otherwise, the best thing to do is just to repurpose some other campaign. Although for like Rivetous, like you can like no one can use Rivetous campaign because their objective was so specific. Like take the refracting cell and bring it to moon. Like that is, like it doesn't make sense for any other character to do that, right? And if you were to take the same campaign and try to use some other objective, like assuming that the refracting cell has already been placed in moon, like what else do, you know? Maybe you're like maybe like go around and repair communications towers so that Moon and Pebbles can talk better. Repairman, Slug Cat. And every time you go to a communication array, you get some sort of upgrade to your abilities. That was almost bad. So I do need to eat food here because if I want to store a neuron in my stomach, I need full food. Although, do I need to do that? I could just hold it in my hand, right? Would that be that bad? Can I actually do this in one cycle? That's the next question. Quite a lot of regions to get through, but I'm still very fast. And these are like pretty long cycles I'm getting. But this is still just a test. Still just testing this out, so I'll shelter and then I'll do like both routes. Okay. See ya. Thanks for stopping by. Hello, Vulture. So I haven't been able to perfectly fly into that pipe without hitting the walls. Although, I don't even know if that's possible. I think it's always better to get a little bit of momentum before I start flying horizontally, because it seems to kind of slow you down in a weird way. It's possible. I don't think it is possible. It's like the doors are blocked off, right? I mean, maybe like he has to give you the mark for the doors to be blocked. Oh, I tried to fly up quickly, and ended up grabbing the pole. I'm alive. Is that because of the platformer mode and like the ship? But with lizards. When is someone going to recreate the entire map of Ranworld in Geometry Dash? Honestly, that'd be pretty cool. Okay, no crash this time. Wait, there's still the lag spike though. It's a little scary. Someone's gonna make slot. Oh, there's gonna be like, all sorts of different games. From what I've seen, because there's been like 2.2 levels that people have created, right? There's like a private server, I think, where you can access the new features, or at least some of them. Of course, not like all of 2.2, but some stuff. And people have like, popular mode is basically just the like mini game mode. With more controls, you can have a lot more freedom over, like, because like your previous option was just with the dual mode, right? So you have like 2 inputs to do to like move around. But in popular mode, you have 3 inputs, so you now have like much more freedom. Like you can have 2 keys to move and then another key to like do some sort of action. All right, I'm going to shelter here. I didn't really need to get that. Okay, so here's where I'm going to do a little test. So go to Pebbles, and then I'll go down the wall first. Let's do that first. Let's do the wall first. Actually, a Celeste, like, that'd be super easy, right? You would just have, actually, hold up a timer. I'll activate the timer later. You just have like a dashboard that constantly follows you, but you can only activate it after you jump first. So you jump, and then like the next jump that you do, it hits the dash orb, and you'd have like a block to stop you after a while. It only let you dash horizontally, but like you don't really have control over other movement. Oh, you started a stopwatch? Alright, thank you. I'm gonna start the timer. You know, I'll just use the timer that I already have open. Even though it's not on screen anymore. Stop. Okay. Start timer. If you throw something at him, he just kills you, right? So I have to wait through the dialogue anyway. I should have put the game in Chinese. Yeah, I thought that too. Like maybe I could throw a rock at him and then like quickly fly out of the room. Rain World, true. I kind of wonder if I should stream Geometry Dash anytime. I know I've like talked about this before. Like it's kind of a weird game, right? It's not like it's very grindy, I guess. Like if I'm just trying to like beat some level, then I would just be doing that one level for like a few hours straight. And it's like, if you're already like a Geometry Dash streamer, and if you play like actually difficult levels, then people might care about watching that. But if it's just like me, like most people here are probably here for Rain World. And then like I'm not good enough at the game to like make that interesting either. But also it seems like I've noticed a lot of people here like actually talk about the game, so I don't know. Maybe that's just because it's super popular. Way more than Rain World, but these are fun rooms. I want you guys to guess how good I am at Geometry Dash, what like difficulty of levels I'm able to beat. Oh wait, can I can't go back through this because I already took the shelter. Am I gonna get in your on? You know, we'll do that next time. But that is with the timing. I played before? I played for quite a long time. I first played the game, I don't remember exactly when, sometime around the 1.9 or 2.0 updates. But also, I have not spent all that time like practicing the game. You know, I've only played like on and off, and maybe sometimes I'd focus on creating levels instead of like trying to beat levels. At least 9 circles. That's a really funny answer. Oops, I need to go down this way. Just normal movement in this room. Time loss. And go down here. Top 80. Whoa. What was that? Yeah, I think I remember like checking your YouTube channel because you mentioned it. Well, also because your profile picture. Oh, wait, hold up. Go down here. It's like, oh damn, you actually like beat difficult levels. Also, okay, there's like one of these weird visual bugs going on. The rendering of stuff. Alright, so pretend I'm just running rivulets. I'm just doing the normal routes. Minus being rivulets and having a grapple worm. But it does mean I remember these rooms a little bit. Okay, should I answer the question? I have beaten Insane Demon difficulty levels. Exactly 4 of them. So I can't beat like every Insane Demon, but I've done a few of the easier ones. I think the hardest of the 4 is, whoops, okay, forgot about that guy, is Acropolis. Which was actually the first one that I beat. So I beat Acropolis, and then I was like, okay, that wasn't that bad. I bet I can beat easier Insane Demons, and then I did. So after Acropolis, I beat a Lit Fuse, which actually Lit Fuse was a level that I wanted to beat like a year or 2 ago. Like I always thought Lit Fuse was a cool level, and it didn't really feel that difficult. And then I beat Acropolis. I was like, oh, I can totally beat Lit Fuse too, and I beat it in like 2 days. After that, I beat Windy Landscape, which is like the typical easy Insane Demon. And then like some other random level. Just like way less popular than those other ones. And also, this was like a month ago. So kind of around when the release date of 2.2 was released, or when that was announced, that's when I kind of got back into the game and decided to try to go for some harder levels. Hold up. Okay, I made it here. Stop the timer. That was like 7 minutes. I kind of forgot what I was doing. But it took 7 minutes to get there, taking the wall route. So now I'm gonna do the same thing again, but going through pebbles. Starting the timer before I enter the room. Okay, so 8:25 from this shelter to that room. I guess you can restart the timer. I don't think they're gonna be that different. But I just know roughly 7 minutes from right before entering Pebbles. So the thing about Geometry Dash, I've beaten some of these insane demons, but they're mostly like pretty easy ones. And the level that I've been trying to beat recently is significantly harder than the rest of them, and progress has been slow. And I'm like, if I could stream it, maybe I'm kind of close to beating it, but also that might be boring. I don't know. If I did want to stream it, I would definitely do it on a day that I don't normally stream. So I feel like if I play another game, then I'm playing that instead of Rain World, right? It's like if I play another game, I should do it on a day that I don't normally stream, so it's like an extra bonus, you know? Wingcat doesn't use food for yeah, it doesn't use his food for flight. Isn't that nice? Another character that I played that was able to fly used food to fly, and it was really annoying. You just always accidentally fly a little bit and then lose your food. And because it was some Saints campaign, there was not much food available. Those have an optional stamina mechanic. Okay. Oh, time loss of picking up a pearl. I need to remember not to do that. So this character and the other one have options where you can like lose food when you fly, which just kind of seems annoying. Like the purpose of this character I always thought was just to be overpowered. And the other one was kind of trying to be a little bit balanced, so there was a cost of flying so much. Anyway, for Geometry Dash, I think I might want to play the game anyway for the update. Just like to check out all the new stuff. And it would be like a lot easier, like doing like the main levels and stuff. A lot easier than grinding some sort of like demon level, right? Unless the new levels are demon too, but they shouldn't be that bad, like easy demon maybe. I'm gonna go for a first extreme. I'm already sort of working on a first extreme. This one level called Forbidden Isle. It's basically just the Acropolis, but way harder. I feel like that's a level that I could beat with enough practice. I know Aku is a popular level, but I don't want to play that level just because it is the obvious option. Like, oh, everyone plays Aku as their first extreme, so I'm not gonna do it. But also, I kind of want to beat it anyway, eventually. This is where suddenly moving around is scary. But I might not like worry about difficulty for a while. Cause I feel like I already pushed really far with going for like insane demons. And maybe I'll just want to spend some time like picking out like most of the new stuff from 2.2. Like maybe I'll like look into platformer mode a lot. And like hard platformer mode levels are going to be completely different. Like a completely different skill set, and that kind of actually sounds kind of interesting to check out. There's a lot of neurons here. Is there always neurons here? I guess there are, right? They all fall to the bottom of the room. I remember that happening. You think they'd all get like eaten? Yeah, it's slurping all the neurons. I mean, in the rivetless version of the rots, there are neurons that have been grabbed by the DLLs. Specifically, like the tentacles on the walls. But you never see that happen outside of the rivulet. I don't know if this is faster yet. It's been 5 minutes and a little bit over 5 minutes, and I'm like halfway through Underhang because like in a few rooms on B, I'll say at that point. But also it's gonna take a while to get there. Strong tunnel here. Even after grabbing them, so they can grab them, but they just don't eat them. I think this might be slower. I have to go through the gates. Just 1 minute left. But also, you could probably zoom through the rot and like take that whole thing much faster if you like learn it perfectly. But I'm just not that much I don't have much experience with going down through the rot. Like I've gone up it a few times, but like very rarely go down it. Especially with this character with all the mobility. So if Wingcat bring Neuron to Moon ever gets popular, then it's worth looking into the meta. Best strategy for that. Yeah, I think this is slower. Mutated version of the Inspector? I don't think that's true. I feel like that can't be true because Inspectors are holograms. When you kill an Inspector, they just like vanish and it's only the eyes that are left. Just like Overseers, right? They're not like physical things. Unless they are like physical things and like some sort of energy is like making them solid. Just like with pure energy. I feel like if anything, they're probably mutated versions of all of the other like random like tentacles and like things that are just around the region. Okay. This was roughly 40 seconds slower than taking the wall route. But also potentially with more room for improvement. But also I could have gone a lot faster through Underhang. I think that's the route that I'm gonna take. Also I'm gonna keep going. Okay. So carrying a spear here is probably a good idea. Just in case they get grabbed. I didn't fly up fast enough. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna try to go for a full run. Slightly slower. That's not as far off. What was the other one? 825? 838. Potentially faster though, because the rock could be improved a lot. I think I'm still gonna go through the wall though, because that can also be improved. I think it'd be sick if there was like a partial rot. Like stuff that's like the process of a DLL being created. Is 5 levels not the rot? I guess you're right. I guess it's an unfortunate development, right? But they're pretty much the same thing, right? Oh. Getting out of Karma Cache. Oh, I guess another thing about Geometry Dash, it kind of playing more difficult levels in that game motivated me to do better in the Riveted speedrun. Because I realized that they're kind of similar. I mean, they're very different games, but the process of like learning and improving is still kind of the same thing. Because in Geometry Dash levels, there's going to be some parts that are significantly more difficult than others. Maybe it's just a few jumps or like a few seconds of a level, right? But that one part is like the hardest part, and if it's like halfway through the level, it's a big choke point, right? Because you have to get through like another 50% of the level just to get there and probably die. And then if you do, you're like stressed out that you made it past the hard part, and now you have to like keep going, you know? So what you do in that scenario is you practice that one hard part much more than every other part of the level. You should still like practice every part equally, but the hard part, like focus on the hard parts. So that when you do get to them, you're more confident and you know that you can pass it even if it's more difficult than the rest. I'm just getting nervous on levels. You're too good. So in Rain World, for like the Riveted speedrun, for example, there are also specific parts of the run that are harder than normal. And I see other speedrunners try out Riveted, and they get to those parts and they're like, they struggle with them. Like, damn, this part is difficult, you know. And maybe they don't even do like specific practice runs. They just like do attempts from the beginning. They get to the hard part of the run and they die or they mess up or they're like significantly slower, you know. It's like, damn, that hard part of the run really sucks, right? But in that scenario, you should practice it a lot more. And I did that. I mean, you do need to use mods in Rain World, like the lat mod, the dev tools, the warp menu, you know. Maybe disabling creatures, but I like wanted to spend some time on the harder rooms and just practice them, just like Geometry Dash, until you get to the point where you never make mistakes. Because in Geometry Dash, it is very mean. It's a very mean game. If you make a single mistake, I mean, depending on the level, like easy levels, it doesn't matter, but in harder levels, if you make a single mistake, you lose, right? And that's it. So you have to do the whole thing perfect to make it to the end. Geometry Dash made Chimney Canopy easier. Has anyone else ever said that in all of history? So, it kind of made me think, you know, people are able to beat extremely difficult levels in Geometry Dash by practicing them enough and eventually getting to the point where you can do it perfectly. Why not the same for Rain World? Why not practice the speedrun so much so I can get to the point where I can do the whole thing perfectly with no mistakes? That's still unrealistic. Of course, Rain World has like 20 times as many buttons as Geometry Dash does. Actually, how many exactly? Like 10 more buttons. So there's more complexity and it's harder to press all those buttons perfectly compared to just one. But maybe you can get close, you know. Oh, hello, lizard. For every skill that exists. Yeah, you practice it to get better at it. That's true. I don't know, something about like playing Acropolis. I think Acropolis was the main level. Where I played it and I was like, damn, this is really difficult. Like the first like 10% of the level is absurd. And then by the end of it, when I was close to beating the level, I like was able to consistently, well, somewhat consistently get through the beginning. And I was like, I went from barely being able to get through like a single percent of this first part to being able to do the whole thing somewhat consistently. And that kind of level of improvement made me think that I could do the same thing with like other difficult things. So, Acropolis, the silent Acropolis. Yeah, let me just practice that level real quick. And so, for the Riveted speedrun, when some new strats were being discovered, it made the run more difficult. It's like, damn, you know, if I want to improve this time, I need to get good at these new strategies. But I did the same thing in Geometry Dash, so I can do this. I can do it in Rain World too. There's a moment you can notice the transition from low gravity to complete zero gravity. I like how they block off the pipes as if like they expect people to actually be able to make it up there. Also, I need to remember that if you move around too much, he'll not talk as fast as normal. So I need to like not do anything. Also, what's the cycle looking like? I can't tell. I guess I'll shelter at the end of, well, I don't know. I guess I'll check when I leave Pebbles again. Actually, no, I need to shelter. You know what? I think going through Pebbles is faster because you need to shelter you need to shelter here in order to go back through the gates, which means that you need to get food. Which I already have food, but it also takes some extra time to actually go to the shelter. Whereas I could just like go to the. I could just keep going and then shelter at the end of Pebbles, right? I think I'm gonna go to this region. I want to go to Pebbles. Also, I need to actually remember to get the neurons, which would be another time loss because I have to go get the neurons and then go back. So yeah, I'm gonna take this route. Shoreline reference. It's the coast. Every ocean is a shoreline reference. Actually, I'm gonna let go of the neuron. Guy would get mad at me. Yeah. Yeah, I can pick them up again. That's always scary, even with this character. I'm actually at the point where I'm so fast that I'm scared of running into one at like max speed. It's actually easier to move around when there's no or when the gravity is normal. Let's go this way. No particular reason. That's funny. Oh, hello. Wait, is that really bad? So they can't go through this tunnel. They're just stuck here. And now they know that I'm here, so they're gonna try to get through. Huh. If you wanna move out of the way, any day now. I've never seen this happen before. Not on this tunnel, on this pipe. Well, I wanted to speedrun, but the game said no. This is actually reminding me of the old route through Riveted Slurpercent. We went through Pebbles, and we're from the top, so we went up the wall and then down through Pebbles, basically the normal way. And there were a few DLLs that would get in the way, and this is kind of like that. They'd just be in front of a pipe, and there's nothing you could do until they moved out of the way. And that's like not really a thing anymore with the new routes going through Underhang, but there are a few DLLs that are still annoying like this. Oh dear. Yeah, all the way up there, huh? I grab one more neuron. I dropped it. Here's a bunch. So the long horizontal rooms. I mean, this is definitely slower now after that DLL. But that mostly just all the other problems, right? You need to stay in a shelter, you need to go out of your way to get the neurons, you're just like grabbing them and passing through these rooms. Okay, that can also happen. Damn, he really blocked the entire passageway there. Hey, we're back here. It's a very long cycle. Also, the cycle might be a problem because it can't rain inside of Pebbles, so we can make it all the way to the end of that area before having to shelter. Whereas if I go down the wall, I might need to take another shelter. Well, no, you have to take a shelter in order to go back through the gates, so the cycle would be reset there. Whoops! I did not mean to close the game. I don't know why I did that. Okay, I think I want to try to get one successful attempt of this run, and then I think that'll be the end of it. Also, probably be easier. I can try it, I guess, since there were some problems. Alright, is it working correctly? I didn't expect DLLs to be as big a problem as they were. Same thing happened. Room rando with Saint. Oh, room rando. Room rando kind of sounds like the worst thing possible. Like, you're just wandering around randomly until you stumble across, like, a gate, you know? And you just repeat that. Should I try random rando? I could do it as Rivulet. I could just, like, move around a bunch. Oh, okay. So I assumed that with the mobility of the Wingcat being able to fly around in zero gravity rooms, that I'd be able to just maneuver around the DLLs, right? And the only DLLs that were a problem were the ones that were literally blocking the entire path, and there was no way to get around them. Every other DLL was not a problem at all. But on max settings. Oh, doing a speedrun kind of seems like just making it annoying. Having to get shield rushed the whole time. But just like trying to like, I mean, what's even your goal in a room rando? Just try to beat the game normally? That's like so many gates you have to find. Unless of course the room rando lets you just like travel between regions, right? In which case you're literally just looking for like 2 rooms, like pebbles and then like the very end, right? Of course it depends on the campaign. Can I get another spear? I don't want to keep this one too. Might be the best way to get food. To experience chaos. Well, that's pretty easy. Why are you here? Is that like a really low lineage % chance? That could be it. I've never seen that guy there. Well, maybe I have seen him there before. Whoops, I wanted to do something different there. I couldn't see where I was. Speedrun with dev tools. Dev tools %. Apparently, there's a way you can just teleport to the room, like to an adjacent room. I don't know what that key is. I've tried it before and it didn't work. Someone said like the number pad keys. So it is a lineage. That's weird. Hunter spawn. So it's like a small chance that nothing is replaced with a kelp. %7% for survivor. Okay. That's a really funny spot for a monster kelp to be though, because those poor orange lizards are just gonna get eaten immediately. That was close. I feel like when you start flying, it's not worth it to do horizontally. Then once you build up some speed, it is pretty much just as good. There we go. There's the perfect pipe entrance I was looking for. But for, I kind of just thought of it just now. Rim randomizer might make it might be interesting to play as Rivulet. Just because I get to travel through a lot of different rooms that I wouldn't normally go through, and I get to just mess around with Rivulet movement, which I enjoy a lot. It's pretty much the only times I've been playing Rivulet recently is just to do the speedruns. So I'm very familiar with movements through the speedrun route, typically, and no other room. But if I do room rando, I'll be forced to go through a bunch of rooms that I never go through as Rivulet. So I get to mess around with movement there. Maybe I'll try it out. But also trying to aim for some specific goal feels kind of pointless because you're just wandering around. I don't know. Very pacifist dropping. No, I was just moving so fast that they didn't even see anything. The dropping blinked and I was gone. Do insects blink? Look at all the overseers. They do not. Makes sense. Put the grenade on the lower spot but move to the upper spot. They just left the grenade down there. For fun. It's gonna be different in Rain World, you never know. No, I think you just have to be standing under drop bug for a certain amount of time. Which is usually very short, but I was just moving fast enough to get past it in that time. Let's go down the wall this time. And I'm gonna go before sheltering, just so I can throw a neuron on my stomach. I'm having to eat food first. Considering how fast you can fly around normally, we think that flopping around in zero gravity would make you go way faster because there's no I guess it won't really be any different. There's still air in here. But you'd always be able to constantly build up speed without bumping into stuff. Wish devs would just say how long one cycle is. Nah, they like to keep their secrets. They want us to just speculate. Whoops, that's time loss. Less lift per flap. Because like the air would be more spread out, I guess. Remember the struggle you went through going up the wall first time? It's funny how completely easy this character makes some regions. Going through subterranean, it's pretty rough. Like filtration system, pretty much just as difficult as it is normally. But going through Sky Islands, farmers, you just fly through the whole thing in like a few minutes. You're never able to just hunt them down like that. Oh, that swallowing that like sent me in kind of a weird direction. I don't remember if I already talked about this, but something that kind of bothers me in the Rain World is the one like broadcast thing that you can listen to as Spearmaster. There's one of them in Moon's Underhang, and it tells you a bunch of the like chemicals and stuff of Moon structure, like this % of water, this % of like sulfur, and like this and that. And I don't like it because it uses just the names of normal real-life elements. Because I feel like Rain World is so strange that it could totally just have a completely different, like... completely different everything, honestly. Like, if it had a completely different set of elements, or not even, like, no elements at all, just some completely different system that's made up. but nope. It has oxygen. It has H2O. Just like real life. Which, I mean, that's like a super, like, specific nitpick. Like, they didn't make up their own elements. Are they even trying? Yeah, I need to fall down this. I suck. I'm gonna keep going. I should carry some weapons. Maybe just coincidence and elements are actually something different. Maybe. It's just like a translation from random world language to English, just replaces those with like elements that we're used to. Like, what is void fluid made of, you know? Water. Yeah, yeah, it's water. Like, water's just like a common name. Void fluid is made of void? Ah, that answers it. Null. Excuse me. That's very rude of you. Also, does Wingcat have weaker spear throws? So that didn't kill the drop weight. Unless it's because I was grabbed first. That kind of spear throw does less damage, or I got unlucky with the spear RNG. Whoops, wrong direction again. Like, I'm straight flying. It's completely different physics. Oh. Bat flies are insects. They just kind of look like bats. So many references all of a sudden. It's weird seeing this room not covered in rot. Or this room. Or this room. The whole region not being covered in rot everywhere? That's surprising. Rain World reference. Really? While we're playing Rain World? There's still a demo here though. Real world reference? Okay, I think it's getting out of hand. Oh, yeah, don't mind me. I like how you can really just do that. If you're moving too fast, they just can't get you. I have to memorize the position of all those platforms just so you can fly through them all perfectly. Yep, you're distracted eating that, so you can't get me. Oh no, they're smart. Just kidding, they're stupid. They almost got me though. It is a lot of fun getting used to these flying physics. It's like a really unique way to travel around. Okay, didn't die there. I think that's where I died last time, right? It's not, this is all new. New for the speedrun. I've never been in these rooms before. I was ever wondering, like, what percentage of speedruns are like a pre-planned route that we all like have all the movement memorized and stuff, and how much of speedruns is just like improvisation. I thought I said that wrong. But right now, this is all just like I'm making it up on the spot. I'm just kind of doing whatever I think feels like the best way to do it every room, like, as I come across it. It's sight reading. But also there's a little bit of memory of the regions from derivative speedrunning, because this is a similar route now. So I'm gonna memorize I have the layout of the rooms memorized, but not the movements through them. So I'm gonna be bumping into stuff all the time. Also, I totally forgot that mirror birds exist. There they are. Okay, I'm just gonna finish a run, even if I die a bunch. That wasn't even, they weren't even trying to get me. That mirror sword was just like biting the air, and I just happened to just get in the way. Because there's always an active hitbox there. Unlike vultures, for example. Vultures will never bite loot. Vultures will never bite you unless they try to. And they know that you're there and they try to bite you. Mirror spurs just are always grabbing. Always trying to bite at the air. If they see you, they will aim their head at you. But they're still dangerous if they aren't. Bird otter? This character? I like how the bat flies that accumulate in this room. The echo. I need a weapon. I might die to a lizard again. Seen Rare's birds kill Iggy. It's because they get in the way. Or do they actually target them? Oh, this is bad. Whoops, I was not in the room that I thought I was in. Excuse me. Somehow I missed that spear at point blank range, but I still got past them. Probably from the throw boost. It's kind of pushing me forward a little bit. I almost forgot again. I'm sure what you just typed in chat says something, but I'm not gonna check. Someone else can figure that out. That was smooth. That's the kind of thing you want to do in every single room in this run. It is kind of like a racing game. Actually, it is a lot like a racing game, except there's gravity. Any side view racing games out there? I guess there's like that one like speedrunners game. Okay, can you stop? It's like a 2D platformer, but it's multiplayer and you can like race other players. I really don't want to be holding this guy. That's not like a typical racing game. Here's some mistakes. And I'm alright. These overseers are watching me wondering what I am doing. Like, look at this goofy guy flying around. Oh, it just says rain roll. You know, if Precipice was still like not collapsed, you could totally take that to get to Moon instead, and it'd be ways faster. Yep, I'm down here. No. Okay, we're alive. Wow. But also time lost. That was fun though. Throwing a rock at that guy. Okay, that lizard. I've kind of gotten the habit of just calling them guys. I'll go get that guy right there. Right there. I don't know what time it is in this cycle. Okay, halfway through. Thank you, game. You're telling me that right there. Yeah, memory crypts is probably where this run changes the most from rivulets, which is kind of what I'm comparing it against. Just because the mirror birds, which shouldn't really be a problem if I'm flying above them, but I did die to one before, so they are in fact a problem. Oops, don't go down there. And they always like to just camp like at the edges of rooms, just like getting stuck on stuff. Oh, this is the Rubicon room. I just realized that for some reason. What? Well, I don't want to mess up what I have set up right now, but that's interesting. There's a few of them. A handful. You know what? These are right here, and this is literally their intended purpose. I always thought it's kind of awkward that the Mirror Bird's biggest weakness is just like chilling in the same areas where you find the Mirror Birds. Right? Like they're always next to each other. Except in Shaded, I guess there's like not many. I mean, outside of memory crypts, there's like still flashbangs, but no Mirror Birds. But here and in Subterranean, you find them both together. It's just kind of strange. What is going on in the chat? So I have a neuron, but I don't have the neuron light. Maybe I should have thought about that. Spiders might be a little bit scary. And also I can't see, but that's like a minor issue. See, not a problem. They're the same rings he's told to. Hunter also was going to die in about 20 cycles, And they decided to continue with this quest. Even though they knew they would die anyway. But also, it's really hard to tell the motivations of any of the slow cats except for, like, Monk, Survivor, and Artifice. Okay. I might be able to make it to Moon in, like, 2 minutes. Cause there's a bunch, there's, like, the rooms to Moon are, very open. Very good for this character. Yeah, Gourmand is the one crafting. Or Artificer. I'm going to Moon. That's the speedrun. Taking a neuron from Pebbles to Moon as fast as possible. Just to have some sort of goal as some, like, a reason why to go to Moon. I'm good at speaking. I've been doing it for a while. Fortunately, this room is slow. Now the music has stopped because of the rain. Or maybe not. I don't know. Let's do that. Artificer is so relatable. Yeah, you ever, like, commit mass genocide against a specific species because they killed their children? So relatable. That jetfish tried to hit me. All the way up here. Yeah, I put a neuron on my stomach and I went to Moon. I'm going down to Shoreline. Like, what do you think the objective is? Do I have enough time? I have like a minute. That's plenty of time. It took like a minute to get through chimneys, so just a few rooms in Shoreline. It's gonna be like, the rain is coming. Yeah. You gonna say anything about that? Grateful? That's great. I have to go now. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Like entering Moon's room and she immediately warns you of the rain instead of saying anything else. Oh, hold up. I kind of want to actually stay in shelter. This might be a problem. I mean, I did just have a neuron a few seconds ago, which is food. Jellyfish, jellyfish. There was one right there that I missed. I should be fine. If I can get through this room before it floods. Yeah, I'm fine. Going for the jellyfish. I mean, spending all that time. I mean, can Moon even be mad? Like, here's a neuron. Oh, I need food, so I'm gonna eat it. Like, net zero, you know. I guess it probably would still be painful if she, like, took the time to connect or to sync with the neuron. What even is the process then? You'd be mad? That's the problem? Save Moon instantly ate all her neurons. Alright, I think I'm done with that speedrun. I could try to do more attempts without any deaths, but the route is pretty much just rivulet. Up until like one of the last rooms in Shoreline, it's like Well, I guess it's like from some point in underhang to that point in shoreline, it's the same as rivulet. So I was kind of used to some of the rooms. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. See ya.